All right. How are you guys tonight? Um, we are streaming on two platforms. Obviously, if you're over here with Miss Polly, and obviously over there with King and Dreams. Um, well, this evening that we were going to kind of have a little conversation about kind of going outside of the US and dating and how that kind of looks and the culture shock that may come with that. And if we kind of go off and talk about a little bit more, we may, venture that way. But yeah, so here's the King of Dreams. If you want to introduce yourself a little bit, you can go ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you, Miss Polly, for having me this evening. And yes, I go by the name of Kings and Dreams, as you can see on the bottom of your screen on all platforms, and that's spelled King, the letter Z. So Kings with a Z, the letter N, and then Dreams with a Z. So on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of that good stuff. So you can definitely follow me there.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, where have you gone yourself? Because just to give a little background for people, like where have you been, so that
Right.
they get a kind of an idea of what kind of culture you've been introduced to.
Right, absolutely. So my background, both of my parents were born and raised in Jamaica, and they relocated here in the late '60s, early '70s, and so I've had my passport since I was 3 years old. I'm 38 now. I'll be 39 in February. So essentially, I'll have been traveling for almost 36 years. So the places where I've been all throughout the Caribbean, West Indies. I've also been through Western parts of Western Europe, and most recently, I am traveling in Latin America. So that's North Central and South America, as of recently.
Okay, yeah, and I know you also, if you guys are interested in finding out more about like Cuba. I know you just went to Cuba, so you guys
Yes.
can check that out, kind of see what it's like. A lot of people get to visit. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely, yeah. So I definitely have some good content on Cuba. Cuba is, I had a great experience in Cuba. For those who like to have like the modern technology and things like that, as far as when it comes to internet, and you are not really you're used to kind of just using like either your credit or debit card a lot, this may not necessarily be the trip for you. But I will say this: if you can get past that and you can stick it out for, I would say, anywhere between 3 to 5 days, you will have a great time in Cuba.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I know, and he does have some, obviously some videos, kind of showing what you experienced there. So you guys check those
Yes.
out if you get a chance over on his channel. And then also he does have some clip. You were in Colombia recently too? Am I
Well, so with Colombia, with Colombia, like I go to Colombia pretty often, and it's because I have an
okay? Because
apartment
I know
there.
there was, yeah.
I'm sorry. There might be a bit of a delay there, but I was saying that I've been to Colombia
Yeah.
fairly recently, and I go a lot because I have an apartment there. So I don't know if you heard that part or not, but I don't know, like it cut out for a bit. All right. I think Miss Polly's internet cut out, but I'm gonna continue going. So these things do happen when you are on the live stream. Let's see, man. I definitely want to give a shout out to some of my people that pulled up. I see my man Ronan Travels with Alex is in the building. Thank you so much for pulling up. So make sure that you do check out my live stream. I am gonna have Mr. Lucari on my live stream, and that's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, depending on where you guys are in the United States. But that will definitely be happening tonight. We had to move it last minute, so apologies on that. But we are having that live stream, and that's going to be a good one. And I'm going to be opening the panel, so you can see the view behind me. So definitely make sure that you check out my channel and check out that live stream. That's going to be good. Mzpoly is back.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know. Today has been crazy with my connection. I apologize. I
No
don't know.
worries. No worries, no worries. But see, it's good to have another content creator sometimes when you interview, because I understand. I understand the trials and the tribulations, man. Like sometimes the internet is not our friend, right?
They're not. No, not. They're not. Especially I live in the corn, so that does not help at all.
Yeah. No worries, no worries. I was just dropping some shameless plugs, telling people to check me out at my channel and all of that stuff. But yeah. So the last thing that you asked me was I had recently gone to Colombia, and I was saying yes, and I was saying I go to Colombia often because I have an apartment there. So it's more or less yes, I love the people and I love the culture. But also, I have an invested business there, so I have to make sure that I'm checking on my business. Oh my goodness! Don't tell me she froze again. All right, let's see. All right, let me check out some of these comments here. 8:04 p.m. Salute to the panel. Yep. Salute to what did I say? Chef Chupin. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. My bad. Salute to Mzpoly, Paul Wright, and kinzndreamz. Salute to you. She's in Cuba. Yeah, man. Listen, let me tell you, that internet in Cuba is something else, man. But yeah, the way her internet is acting up, she possibly could be in Cuba, man. Let's see here. I will check back in most definitely. Absolutely, man. I definitely appreciate you, my man Ronan. M3 Knowledge and Relationships says salute Mzpoly and kinzndreamz. Thank you, man. Salute, salute, salute. Yep, she froze again. Yes, she did freeze again, man. It's crazy, man. She did. But guys, just stick around, hang with it. You know what I mean? You guys know sometimes the internet cannot be your friend, man. But I appreciate all of y'all watching. Please make sure that y'all subscribe. All of my subscribers that popped in, check out Mzpoly's channel. She definitely has some good content. So please make sure that you guys check her out. And I think she's trying to come back in. That's that buffering circle where that thing just circles. It circles.
No, sir. No.
All right. So,
oh gosh, that's horrible. So I was trying to see if I could switch phones. That might assist in such issue.
Your boy Chef said that you're in Cuba. With that internet.
I can't even fight with that though. That's the bad part. I can't fight with it. I really can't. But I'm trying not to be there, if that helps. I'm trying to be here with you guys. But while I'm here, I'll switch this over because I can just push myself over. How do you feel about the women so far? Like, what culture do you think kind of fits in more? Not saying nobody wants to be like America, but which one do you think would be easy to transition into when you're dating?
Well, what I would say is that, like, any culture that's really that's not modern westernized, and what I mean by that is like a culture that focuses on men and men being the helm, right? And specifically, I'll say Latin America because I just recently was in Cuba. My man, Black Man Travels, he's in the chat right now. He was actually out there with me. But yeah, so I would say like the Latin America culture is definitely one of those cultures where the men are put as the priority. Now, again, like if you're a man that's like not worth anything, then you got to keep it moving. But the one thing that I do like about it is that they do look for the men to be that head main figure. Of course, you got to be the protector and provider and things of that sort. But the thing about it is that like they like to put that man at the helm, and that's something that resonates with me.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll agree that that's something a lot of men are looking for in the U.S. because
Mhm.
they feel like, these I'm gonna say nicely, I guess the best way to say it, I want to say American women or Western women are, trying to, they're trying to drive the car everywhere.
Mhm.
And so that's something that I think, like you said, that is gonna draw the men to the other places,
Right.
definitely. But like when it comes to the language and things like that, obviously, Spanish would probably be pretty easy to transition because there's a lot of people who speak Spanish here too. So
Mhm.
if you want to learn it, there's lots of places you can go and learn it. Obviously here in the States. But is there anywhere else you would think that would be close? A lot of people say, hey, maybe go to Africa. I know you haven't been there, but do you
Yeah.
think that would even be something possibly to try to
Oh yeah.
mesh together?
Yeah, so well, the only reason why I didn't mention the continent of Africa is just because I myself haven't been there. But for those who do have time to go to the continent of Africa, like if you don't have any family obligations, or maybe you have maybe like um, smaller children, like for me, I have a young son, 9 years old, also coaches football team. So when you go to the continent of Africa, you kind of want to be there like kind of like a minimum of like 3 weeks, at minimum of 3 weeks, right? So 3 weeks, like when you have a young child, that's a long time. So and also with Latin America, um knock on wood, God forbid, if something happens, it's quicker to get back over. If you are in the continent of Africa, that takes time to get back over to the United States. So that's the only reason why I haven't mentioned the continent of Africa. But of course, the continent of Africa, I would recommend. The stories that I've heard from men who are expats there, or men who have traveled there, they have a lot of great things to say about it, right? And especially for us melanated people, there are 5 countries in Africa where you can get your citizenship. And I always forget the fifth one, but and I may be able to get this right. So I may knock down all 5. But it's South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, um, and Zimbabwe. I did get all 5. I did get all 5, but those are the 5 though. But I on a serious note, but those are 5 countries that like you can become a citizen there. So if you have any melanin in you, you can go over there, right? So that's important.
Right.
And then the countries that I mentioned, um, they hold men in high regard. I would say maybe South Africa is starting to become a lot more westernized, but like the other countries that I mentioned, and Ghana a little bit too, but mainly like they see men as the helm.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I said. Those are good places to go to. Like you said, if
Mhm.
you want to be, I guess, if you're obviously want to be amongst people who look like you, it'd be
Mhm.
something
Right.
that you can think about doing. Even though obviously the languages over there may vary between French, all the way down to native tongue. So
Right.
that's where people have to probably do a little bit more. But obviously English is, taught in other places,
Oh, absolutely.
alongside the other languages. So there's hope for you if you don't know how to speak any other language. most of the time someone at least knows a little bit, of something. Okay,
Right.
so yeah, one of those things I was wondering about you all is, let's say you go down there and you obviously meet a young lady, and then you have to meet the family. Do you think that there's this maybe a weird feel if you're not from the same culture when you're coming into their, obviously to where they are? Do you
Right.
think that the pushback from their family is an issue?
Well, so from my experience, I was dating a Colombian woman for about 3 years, right? And so when I met when I met uh, her father, one of the main things was that he wanted to make sure that like I just wasn't like an American, just kind of, I don't know how else to put this lightly, but kind of a guy just not really just, just come get his rocks off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, and of course, that's how any father should be. You want to protect your daughter and things of that sort. So, um, you gotta be able to win over the father, and really how like I was just able to win over the father. I was just really just transparent, and really just saying what my intentions were. And my intentions were to build a relationship, and at that particular time, a family with his daughter. When I initially had met her, that wasn't the intention. The intention was, okay, maybe we go on a few dates, kind of see where it goes. But I had no idea of a long term thing. But what what made us become long term was just how she treated me, and she treated me, put me at the helm, where she would be working 10, 12 plus hours, and she would come to my apartment and make me a meal, or bring me, bring stuff and just put in my fridge. And sometimes I'll be transparent and saying, like, for me, I get cluttery, so sometimes I'll leave like some shirts around or pants or stuff like that, and then, like, just folding my clothes, doing my laundry. And these are things I didn't ask her to do. These were things that she just took it upon herself. So you add that to the equation, then you add the respect that her father and I were gaining for each other, more or less him for me, because I'm the one that's trying to, build with his daughter. But you have all of that culminating. That was a beautiful thing at that particular time.
Okay, okay. And that's what. So I know you're sort of like the parent. Do you feel like you had to lead with anything in particular? You said how would you lead with your? A lot of people don't lead with your wallet and all that, but when you're going into a situation where you're trying to be more serious with someone
Mhm.
who's out, and what do you think you should be leading with at that point? Are we leading with our pockets, our wallet? Or are we, telling them what we're providing for their child, or like what? Where should we be leading though?
Well, I think that, and I'm sure most men would agree with this. Like, if you can lead with your wallet, but if you don't have the right mindset, then that money can go to waste. So I would say, like, money comes and goes, but the proper mindset is really going to be the long withstanding thing about you. Because you see, like, whether it be musicians or entertainers, where they have all the money in the world, but they don't have any vision, and they end up being broke, or they end up buying depreciating assets, right? Like, you see famous people, musicians, and I don't want to just talk about like hip hop. I'm talking about all genre of music, but like they will buy depreciating assets, such as like a whole bunch of cars. And I'm not saying that you can't get some cars and things like that. I love my toys, but when you buy, like, the minute you take a car off the lot, it depreciates immediately, right? So what's important is, let's get some property, let's invest, let's put some bonds together, let's talk about stock options. Let's talk about building something. So when you have the vision to do that, and this is where I would say leading with your mindset comes into that, because you can have the money, but if you don't have the right mind, the right tools in your mind in order for that money to produce and grow, then it's just going to depreciate.
That's true. That's true. As you come over there, even if you do have a little bit of extra, because you said it, your money, your dollar can go further somewhere else.
Sure.
So if you're over there and you have a little, you may look, well off somewhere else, but you
Hmm.
don't know the skills to keep that money, no
Right.
matter where
Yeah.
you are. If you don't have the skills,
Yeah.
obviously you're not going to keep up, and then at some point you're going to start going downward, and then what do you do when you don't have those resources anymore? So I
Right.
mean that is
Absolutely.
very true. So
Yeah.
I do
Absolutely.
think it's
And
a big thing.
oh, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I was just
Oh,
mentioning.
okay. Yeah. Well, what I would say is that for those who don't travel, or um, have the assumptions that, like, when it comes to guys and women wanting to date a foreigner, particularly a guy who is living in the United States, that they just want a green card, like, that can be further from the truth. I would say maybe like a good maybe 5% may want that, but most of these women want to stay in their country. They're very proud, right? And they really just want a man, and their fathers want a man who's going to be able to protect and take care of them. Not saying that you have to be a millionaire or you have to just make this astronomical amount of money, but you have to be able to make sure that, okay, like, that you're able to take care of her. And then if you decide to have children, and most women do want to have children, so if she is childless and wants children, you got to be able to make sure that you're able to take care of that as well. So, perfect case in point, like, one of my subscribers, and he makes about 40,000 US dollars annually. So that's like average salary if you're talking about the whole United States. And he's doing very well. He lives in Colombia now, and he's doing well for $40,000, right? So, I don't know if I can't recall if he's in a committed relationship, but he's able to take care of himself. He's dating, and then should he decide to get into a long term relationship, he would be very comfortable. I say that to say that that's not an astronomical amount of money. That's something that's obtainable, right? And so there is this common misconception where, like, you just have to go abroad, and you just have to be like this big time baller, and that's not the case at all. I will say that more and more high quality men are going overseas, and that's just because they realize that, okay, well, if I'm making anywhere from low six figures, I can live the quality of lifestyle to someone that's making high six figures, or maybe even seven figures.
Mm-hmm. And one of the questions too, like when you're meeting someone, what do you think they should? Like you said, most people don't want to leave with your wallet, as you're giving
Mhm.
example. But what?
Sure,
How should they approach the situation? I mean, obviously they're not American or they're not Westernized. Well, how are you
sure.
approaching this? I mean, are we, like how do we?
Yeah.
What seems to work?
Well, I would say the best thing that works in full transparency is really being introduced by, like, a friend or family member. Like, okay, now, how I did meet my ex, I did meet her off of Instagram, but we like the first night, excuse me, the first night, we did not, we did not get intimate. Um, but what made her more comfortable was the fact that I had been, I had been out there and I knew locals, and so like the first night when I met her, I, so some of her local, like some of her friends knew some of my friends who were local, and I think that's what built the level of comfortability. So, long story short, I don't want to be too long winded here, but the thing is, the best way to meet a quality woman is ingratiate yourself with the locals, and then the locals will introduce you, and that's how that happens. So typically, like, you won't see a guy really approach a woman on the street. Like, she won't really talk to you, like, if she doesn't know you. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. What I am saying though is that it's unlikely, unless she's selling something, unless she's selling something. But like, if this is a regular woman, um, it's you really don't see them talking to a guy, um, unless there's like some warm introduction. And of course it happens, right? You see a woman on the street or whatever, but like, it's not like in the States where you just walk up to a woman and she's in front of, like, she's with her friends, and you're like, yo, what's up? I need your Instagram, I need your number. She's gonna be like, you know, I don't like this. I'm uncomfortable. I don't know who you are. So that's all.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in kind of leading into, I know you have another live this evening too, and kind of
Yeah.
talk about simping,
We
right?
got some time. We got some time because that's yeah, we got about
Yes.
90. We got about 90 more minutes. We good.
Oh no, no. I was saying because that is a good question. Like you say, if men are from over here are going over to other country and they're not used to the kind of treatment that these ladies are going
Oh,
to give,
right.
sometimes you can be I'm going to say, like, overwhelmed with maybe the first person you come in contact with, because you're like, oh my God, you're so wonderful and nice, and they treat me
Yeah.
right, and you're ready to commit all of a sudden because you've never been treated that way. Um,
I see.
so
Yeah.
being aware of that, do you think that's something that they should be aware of, and making sure they're not basically so just happy to be welcomed the way they thought they should be in the first place, that now they're just picking anyone?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, you know what? That's a great question. That's true. Some guys get taken aback by the treatment, and then also how many beautiful women they are. And they get taken aback by that because some guys are not used to seeing so many beautiful women, like, in one area or one country, where like almost everywhere they go, they're seeing a beautiful woman, and this beautiful woman is friendly, she's attentive, she's nice, she's soft spoken, she and she has the femininity oozing out of her. And some guys, they get lost in the sauce, as the young kids would say, right? They get lost in the sauce. So
Yeah.
um the thing is, my recommendation is, make sure that, like, if you're not an experienced traveler, look up or try to connect with experienced travelers and guys who've been to the countries that you're interested in seeing, or yeah, guys that have been to the countries that you're interested in going to, and really look these things up. I mean, the thing about it is that, like, with social media, when it comes to looking up all of this information, there's so much information that's out there. There's so much free information. Excuse me. Yeah, there's so much free information there, and people have the opportunity to learn and kind of get the lay of the land before you travel. Some people have not taken that opportunity, but it's important for, if you want to be able to not get caught out there, really look at these channels and really look at the people who are able to tell you what's what. Because yes, traveling is beautiful, but there's also some caveats to it. There's beautiful women, especially like, Colombia. Man, Colombia has some beautiful women, but you also have beautiful women who are opportunists as well. So you got to be able to look out for that.
Yes. Well, do you think there's like I guess, what's a sign of someone who's not, legit? What would be a sign of a woman who's really out for other means than really trying to make any kind of relationship?
Um, she starts telling you about her problems early on. Starts, starts telling you about her problems early on. That's planting the seed, right? So, for an example, you go on a couple of dates. You've been hanging out you've been hanging out with this young woman. Everything is going well. She tells you like maybe her mom's not doing well. Her grandmother's not doing well. Her son or daughter, not doing well. Rent is due or something like that. She's basically talking to you about her problems, and you guys have just really just started hanging out. Maybe you guys hung out for maybe about a week or something like that. And she starts to tell you about her problems, and you know what she really wants you to say is, yeah, I'm going to help you or stuff like that. But if you don't come out and say it, then she's really going to ask you like, hey, can you help me? I need to pay my phone bill. I need to pay my rent. My grandmother's sick, my dog's sick, whatever, blah blah blah. Somebody's sick, she need money. That's the end result. And you're going to be taken for a ride, because you know what, you may say, hey, it's only 40 or 50 bucks. But now, what ends up happening? You do it the first time, she appreciates it. You do it the second time, she anticipates it. You do it the third time, she expects it. So on and so forth. So you put yourself in this box, even though it may not mean much to you. Maybe you have a lot of resources and things of that sort. But one thing that I've always said, why do the wealthy stay wealthy? Because they invest in things that keep them wealthy, right? And so unless this woman is, you know unless this woman is contributing or giving something that's beneficial, that's going to help you, then sorry, ladies who are watching this, then she is a depreciating asset. That's just the truth. Unless this woman is helping elevate you somehow, some way, she's a depreciating asset. And if she's a depreciating asset, then you need to cut your ties. Even if it's 150 bucks or 50 bucks or 25 bucks, whatever it is, that money is still depreciating. You can't get that money back. You could have invested that money into something else, whether it had been, crypto, could be foreign exchange trading, stocks, could be something that can be appreciating. People who may do sports betting, whatever the case is. But
Yeah,
you
it's
just you
very.
just don't. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you just don't want to put yourself in that type of predicament, right? And so those are the potential watch outs. When you have a woman who's asking for money too early, and then, as I mentioned, when you start to do it, she appreciates it, you know, and then she appreciates it, anticipates it, then expects it, you know. And it's like,
Hmm. Yeah.
it's only 100, it's only 100 US dollars, and it's like, nah, man, because the reason why is because you gave that money out so fast, and even if you do have the money, but that's still a depreciating asset.
Right. Oh yeah. That's not, that's not good at all. So you like saying like not being obviously you don't want to be like too flashy, and then
Yeah,
leading too hard with your wallet, you know.
don't be too flashy. Don't try to flex. You know, I mean, they here's the deal. They know that you have some sort of means, especially if you're able to get there back and forth, right? Like they know that you have some sort of means. Um, I don't like to lean with my wallet. Now, I will say this: when I'm in Colombia, Medellin specifically, like I'll wear like a little bit of flash, but that's because I'm with the locals and I'm there all the time. But if you're someone that doesn't go to Medellin a lot, or you're not fully embraced by the locals, I would not recommend you doing that. Like I wouldn't do that in like Brazil, or somewhere where I don't frequent like that. Like I go to Medellin so much, like I know so many of the locals in all over Medellin. Like, every part of Medellin I know, like, locals, every section. The good ones, the great ones, the not so great ones. I know a lot of people there.
Okay. Yep. So kind of immerse yourself into the whole culture so you can then get a better idea of who you can meet and all that. It just sounds like
Right.
it sounds like it sounds pretty normal. But from like you said, but other parts where you're just not walking up to someone and not knowing if they're going to turn you down. I guess that was where, if I was going somewhere, like, would a woman approach you? That, I guess that would be like, would that be something out the norm? Because I hear that sometimes in some of these traveling, experiences with different bros or whatever. They'll say like, someone will approach them. Is that like the norm for a woman to actually come and take their shot?
No, no, like what I so if a woman is approaching them, typically this is not a 9 to 5 woman. All, please read in between the lines. So, now, however, you can see if a woman is interested, because she will give you, like, she'll give you choosing signals. And one of the things that the women do, like, they really stare at you, like they stare at you, and they like they look at you, and basically that's like the invite saying, hey, come say something to me, you know so yeah. Now,
Okay.
yeah, but like the woman won't just walk up to you and start talking. It's not really like that. But again, as I mentioned, like in the cultures, they expect the man to be masculine. So, like, they expect the man to be the hunter, right? But of course, they will look at you and they'll let you know and they'll smile, but that's an invite saying, hey, come talk to me. Okay, cool, right? But yeah, not just, she's just gonna walk up to you, in Latin America, que paso, papi, unless it's some coin being discussed. So that's that.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
good.
just keeping it a beam, man.
I see. I see. Okay, like you said, there was differences too. Is it is it something where like like you said, depending on who the woman is. We want a woman who has 9 to 5, maybe. Is a working woman more often seen there? Would you see someone who's like more staying at the house with their mom and dad and learning how to, kind of, be someone who's domestic at the house, or would you see women? Obviously, they work, but like, would they be willing to give up work for that family? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, like they would be willing to to give it up, um, or like maybe work less hours, right? They're willing to do
Hmm.
their part, you know, they're willing to do their part. But there's some women who can like they can have a 9 to 5 and still have that, depending on like if they have their their mom helping out or stuff like that. But I guess what you're asking me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but when it comes to the woman's job, like, and her and the husband are planning on having a family, would she work less hours, or take a lesser role at work to be
Yeah.
more of the stay-at-home wife? Correct? Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, that wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, a lot of women, she say, like, they don't want to put their career on the back burner to have a family. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that is some things that some men do say they would like their wife to stay home with children. And so if that's kind of, if that's something that's commonly seen, is that something
Mhm.
you're gonna see a lot of?
No, you won't see a lot of it, and and so what what I think is misconstrued, especially like in some of these conversations, and in some of these spaces where what Western women take it as, like, men are saying that they can't have a career, or that they need to just stay home, not do anything, and pop babies, and basically just don't do anything. No, that's not what it is. What it is that, are you prioritizing your man? Now, let's say for an example, a woman happens to marry a man who is, he works in construction, he's an electrician, kind of has like that blue collar job, right? And hardworking and things like that. Now, let's say she went to school for accounting, you know, that's a great asset because she can keep the books, you know, and she can, help with the making the appointments and all of that. And so, what her degree will help build the business, because if the husband is an electrician and he has to book his appointments, he has to regulate his books, and his wife is not contributing in that area, she's really a depreciating asset due to the fact that, I'm sorry.
Oh yes, I was
Oh,
what's
okay.
I mean? Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, no, I was saying, so she's a depreciating asset because he has to book all the appointments, he has to regulate the books, right? So what does that do? That takes away from the business of growing because he's not able to get more and more customers. Now, if he could just focus on just working, doing the jobs, the wife is taking care of the books, she's got the appointments and all of these things, she's, got the whole schedule laid out. That's great. Like my guy, one of my guys, he and his wife started a detailing business. Well, he started it, but his wife went to school for accounting, right? And so, he does all of the detailing, and she, collects all of the, all of the payments, does all the bookkeeping and everything. When they started, I believe they started in 2021. When they started, like the business had just started, and now the business has grown so much. he's able to hire three other detailers full time, because at once it was just him. But the reason why is because his wife has become such an asset. It helped the business grow. Imagine if he was doing all of that by himself, having to book all the appointments and take care of the books and all of these things. Like, and then with detailing, you got to order materials. So in order to do what you got to do, so she's doing all of the admin, and he's all he's doing is going out and doing the work.
Right. Oh yeah. So let me see here, because it sounds like we're always kind of talking about like someone making their own business and things like that. If you're a
Yeah,
man who wants to, I mean, just be honest. If you're okay with being a worker bee, let's just say it is. Hey, I
sure.
don't mind. Is that an idea for a man to come from the Western world over another country and be a worker bee and still have that kind of family he wants, stuff like that, or is that maybe not a good choice for them?
So when you say worker bee, like do you mean like do you mean like the so if a guy is
Like,
an electrician, okay, so if a guy is an electrician in the United States, like would he go to Brazil and be an electrician? Is that what you're asking?
yeah, like would that be a good move for him if he doesn't want to own his own business? He just maybe wants to work, underneath or in a corporation or a business.
Well, at this moment in time, that wouldn't, like that wouldn't be financially feasible because the US dollar is stronger right now than in Brazil. So if I'm this guy, what I would do is I would actually create a business and actually hire electricians to work for me. So I would really be the head of the business and really have people work under me. Even though when I was in the United States, I was working under people, you see? So because the dollar amount is stronger in a country, say, as Brazil, or we could say like the country of Kenya and in the continent of Africa, or even in Colombia. So that would be the smarter play, not to work under someone in Colombia, but to actually have your own business. Like what's happening now is that a lot of men, what they're doing is that they're taking the money that they make here, and then they start their businesses abroad. Like, let's take me for an example. Like, when I got the apartment, so that was an investment. And now I'm on my way to look for my second and third apartment, and by at least second quarter of 2024, I'm gonna have two more. But yeah, and other guys. One guy in particular, he he was working at a restaurant, but now he owns his own restaurant in Dominican Republic. Oh, looks like Polly froze. Big Polly froze. All right. Let's see here. Yo, my man, what's going on? What's going on? Let's see here. Should be interesting convo or actively listening. Shout out to you, Black Man Travels. I appreciate you. Oh man, my man Juan in the building. Yo, my man Juan is in the building. Philly Dom, watching from New York. Philly Dom is in the building. Shout out to my man Philly Dom, doing the thing, man. Greeting everyone. Most Africans speak English, including their native languages. Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. That's what's up. I see you, my guy. Yes, absolutely. The King's Table, my dude, my dude, my dude. Bert Ross says salute, salute. XL Pro says salute, chat. Man, thank you all for tuning in with your boy. Hey, all please make sure that in about an hour and 10 minutes, um, I'm going to have Mr. Lucario on my channel. So definitely, just rapping with the homie Miss Polly here, talking about some things. So definitely appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, make sure that y'all hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button. Make sure that everyone that popped out to check me out, please subscribe to Miss Polly's channel as well. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with us, man. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Man, I'm excited for this live stream though with Mr. Lucario. So I'm gonna open up the panel, and I don't think I've had an open panel with Mr. Lucario before. So this is gonna be a good one, man. So hopefully y'all stay tuned, y'all stay watching because the panel is gonna be open. It's gonna be a good conversation, man. That's the one thing. Like we can all disagree and things like that, but I always want to make sure that the conversation stays productive. The conversation must stay productive, man, because I value productive conversations, right? When you don't have productive conversations, it's a bunch of chaos, and that's not really for me. It looks like Miss Polly's popping back up. I see the screen buffering. Come on, Miss Polly, come on. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are though. You know what I mean? Because it's a good question, right? Because for those of y'all who've traveled abroad, like have y'all had a woman approach y'all? Because I have not seen that. I've seen the choosing signals, but I haven't seen a regular woman. Guys, remember I'm saying a regular woman. Oh, Miss Polly's back. What's up? Nope, she's not back. She froze again. How could you freeze, leave, and then come back and then freeze again? Looked like she just moved, but I don't know what is going on. I don't know what's going on. I do think Miss Polly's in Cuba though. That's what I think. I think she's in Cuba. I think she's in Cuba, man. I think she's in Cuba, man. Let me see. But I do want to know the answer to that question, guys. Like, I really want to know the answer to that question. So if y'all can answer that question, I would really appreciate that. Um, where outside, like if you've been outside of the United States, where a woman has approached you, specifically Latin America, because like I see the choosing signals, but as far as like really like approaching, nah, I haven't seen that. Like just walk up to you, nah, I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. So all right, I see 15 likes on this one. Let's go. Oh, it looks like she's trying to come back.
You did. You made it. You did so good. Then you died. You see me?
I do see you.
Oh, okay. I'm not a Cuba.
Well,
Well, I hear that. I hear that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys knowing with me. I apologize, but oh, I did have, we had some good conversations. That's what it's about.
yeah. You froze again.
That's what it's all about. You're so silly.
You froze
So, sir, I
again.
will let you wrap it up because
Okay. You sure?
we're just so, you know. Oh yeah. I we're gonna. Yeah, I just want us to be, Hi, Brown. Yeah, I want to make sure, but yeah, I definitely want to say like just being able to. I like to talk about kind of when you're going to your next live tonight, though the simping part. Do you think that men who are simpers here who go over there, okay, how are they kind of messing up the dating scene over there?
Well, um, so kind of just going back into your question on how men can not get overwhelmed, right? So watch the content,
Yes.
yeah, so watch the content of content creators who have traveled to these places, um who have actually, really have done dating, have done some extensive dating and things of that sort, because like guys, they get overwhelmed when they just see so much beauty, and they are susceptible to getting taken advantage of. And what's happening is that, I mean, even guys who are who are transactional, like, strictly financially transactional, they they mess up the price for guys who want to be financially transactional, because they are either a paying way too much, or b end up trying to get into a relationship with these women, c a combination of both, or even d all of the above and then some. So you have these dudes really just, really not maintaining their stoicism, where they are just like, oh my god, you beautiful, I'll give you the world. And it's like, calm down, dog. You got to calm down. I think she probably froze again. Yeah, she froze again. This internet is bad, girl. All right. I don't know if I should close out. I think I should close out, because I think I'm gonna close out. Um, yeah, I don't have anything much else to really say on the subject. What I will say though, like, you will be pleasantly surprised, guys who have not traveled abroad or haven't been abroad in a while. Um, specifically like Latin America, you'll definitely be pleasantly surprised. Of course, you definitely got to make sure that you keep your head on a swivel. But places like that, like they expect the man to be, head of household and things like that. You know what I mean? So, if you're a man that's on this purpose, on this square, what is your purpose? Your purpose is to be the best version of yourself and continue to be the best version of yourself spiritually, mentally, financially. Remain confident yet humble, and always stay on your purpose. Stay purposely purposeful. I think I'm gonna roll out. Peace.
Okay. So if you guys, I know you guys are checking out some of this. If you guys don't know, thank you guys for holding out because my connection is just being evil and I don't know why. Check out King and Dreams on YouTube, and he'll be over there in about an hour, if not about 10 o'clock. So yeah, about an hour. He'll be over there chopping it up with a guest. So you guys can go over there, check out his live tonight. Thanks for checking in with us here, and we'll be coming back with another live. Hopefully, we'll get my connection together. Sometimes it's evil, and it's just the evil thing. Unfortunately, so a lot of times I have to stream like different areas because I just live in the corn. It's just like one of those things. I don't know what to say other than that, but yeah. So basically, to wrap it up, if you guys have any questions, you guys want to get consultations and anything like that, King and Dreams is a good place to start. If you guys don't know, Tailor Made also does consultations. If you're interested in going out of the country and you would like some information about the location, about what to do, how if you should bring cash or not, hey hooks, any of those things, they'll be able to guide you, of course, and kind of get you where you need to go. I even know there's a few it's like love, I always say it wrong, but Andre is another gentleman who travels, and he also like will meet people and kind of show them around so they can get to know the area and stuff. And obviously you have to have a conversation with him, same thing. So if you guys are interested in going out of the country, and it's something you're looking into, something that you think you would like to do, definitely check out those people, because even if they can't help you personally, they can at least direct you to the right people who will help you. So that's really, really important. And if you are interested in dating, outside of your culture, I won't even say race, I'll say culture, definitely get to know more about that culture, because even when you do meet people, you have to make sure you mesh right. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna throw it out there. You might not say, but like even though like you may say, oh, they're very, very feminine, there are some things and aspects that you may not, go well with. And so you want to know a little bit more about their culture. So really kind of figuring out if that's the culture you would like to live in, especially if you have a woman who wants to stay where she's at. You want to know, is this a situation where like we take care of her parents? You know what I'm saying? You need to know that, because now you're not only taking care of her, you're taking care of also, her parents and things like that. So thank you, Hooks. So here's some names of some people who can help you. And like I said, King of Dreams is also going to have something tonight about, it's like simping out of the country. So that's what I asked him. The question was, how does that affect the dating experience outside when you, and I don't mean like men just don't know, but I'm saying men who are just giving women everything they want, all that. Even if you gave it to the right woman, sometimes regardless of who she is, it can be overwhelming. So you want to, find that middle. And maybe even consider, you know, like talking to someone about it. So yes. So I will leave you guys with that. And we will okay, sorry, yeah, mine's acting funny again. But yeah, check out King and Dreams in an hour over on his channel. He's going to be talking a little bit more about the traveling experience, and he has a guest. So go check that out. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'll head over that way also and support him in his live. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.